All right, we're live, I think. All right, guys, what's going on? Let's go to good stream here. Yeah, there we go. No, it's still wrong. Having some technical difficulties with I think. Yeah, we're good. Okay. Um all right. So, today, yesterday we reacted to that insane, absolutely insane video um done by this guy right here, Nick Shirley, the GOAT. 118 million views. I don't know if there's a X tweet that's gotten more views than that in the history of X. It's insane. Absolutely blown up. He's been all over the internet. Um, Interviews with mainstream media. Elon's all over him. There's been tons of stuff coming in here. Um, he's been absolutely fantastic uncovering this. I mean, one of the best investigative journalist stories of all time, honestly. And he's triggered a lot of backlash and investigation. Obviously, you knew that we said this yesterday. The left is going to push back against it, and they are. They're pushing back hard. But I mean, it's pretty smoking gun stuff that's coming on here. So let's go into it here. I mean, we got some crazy comments. I mean, just insane. These comments are blowing up. Elon's retweeted. Everyone's retweeted. We have some updates here we're going to watch. So Fox News is the only one that covers this really. There hasn't been a whole lot of touch by CNN, ABC, and MSNBC. They haven't really touched it. So let's see. All right, Fox News. Let's get better than this. This looks like me.
And welcome back, everybody. FBI Director Kash Patel responding to a viral video that has raised even more concerns about Minnesota's massive fraud scandal. The video showing misspelled signs, locked doors, empty classrooms even at a Minneapolis daycare center. Now, the state allegedly has also given the center millions in funding. Connor Hansen,
Allegedly.
live in New York City with the latest on that for us. Hey, Connor.
Hi, Kevin. Well, for years now, there have been allegations of widespread fraud and
Years of allegations, and they couldn't prove it. Who could? All you had to do is drive to one of these spots and see for yourself. I went on Google Maps after I recorded that video yesterday and went live, and I looked at the truck placement or the van placement on the video done by Nick and what was taken 6 months ago. Haven't moved. Haven't moved.
investigations in Minnesota, but now there's even more scrutiny following a new video that's gone viral coming from an independent journalist visiting daycare
The only news station that mentions him, by the way.
centers in the state that are receiving millions, apparently, in tax dollars with no signs of children there. Take a look.
All right, Fox News. What are we doing here?
Can I put my son in a daycare here?
No, I don't know.
Can I speak to someone?
No, I don't know.
No? Yeah, I would like to see if I can put my son Joey here.
Now, 23-year-old journalist Nick Shirley visited one business that couldn't even spell its name correctly with a sign saying Leering Center instead of Learning. Some had blacked out windows and most had no signs of children there on a weekday. The viral video sparking a strong reaction from Vice President J.D. Vance, who wrote,
I haven't seen this.
like it because they get power, welfare cheats like it because they get rich, but it's a zero-sum game and they're stealing both money and political power.
It's absolutely true. I mean, I love JD Vance because he just doesn't care. He is so outspoken. It's so refreshing, honestly. He is absolutely a beast when it comes to this stuff. I mean, okay, so here's what they're doing. And JD Vance knows this, and he is unapologetic about it. But what the median and what the so-called reasonable party has preached and supported by the mainstream media is that there's a social construct that you need to be welcoming, you need to be invited in order to be morally good. That construct has gone way past where it was intended, and the Democrats cannot let go of it. They cannot let go of it. It is just taken over the root of that party, and the only way for that to stop, and this is what's going to happen because I do think we will win, is the crowd, the sheep, the people in the middle who don't pay attention much. They don't get this level of detail. They see some things here and there, and they're like, "Oh no, I just want to be nice, let people in." But they're soon going to uncover that those people have been preaching that are utterly insane. That these policies are utterly insane, and then they're going to say that was crazy. I'm back here now. That is going to happen. It's unfolding before, like it absolutely is unfolding. They were screaming Trump is criminal, blah blah blah. Still won by a landslide.
Or from Minnesotans. Earlier this month, Minnesota's assistant U.S. attorney said fraud involving Medicaid services likely reached more than $9 billion.
Fraud is not small. It isn't isolated. The magnitude cannot be overstated. It's a staggering industrial scale fraud.
FBI Director Kash Patel just posted on X saying that might just be the tip of the iceberg. Despite mounting criticism aimed at him from the White House and others, Governor Tim Walz has blamed Republicans for the lack of a solution.
Nobody in the legislature on the Republican side is interested in solving this. My God, it would be the worst thing in the world.
How can you be so arrogant? How can you be so arrogant? This doesn't happen in any of the red states. Every single blue state is running a massive deficit because they're funding these organizations. The homelessness in California, this in Minnesota. They're going to go to California now, and I've seen some tweets this past couple days. They are going to uncover everything that's going on in California. How can Tim Walz sit there with a straight face and say this is Republicans' fault? It doesn't happen there.
For them, if this is solved like we're doing it here early this year, because then what are they going to run on?
And we've reached out to Governor Walz for comment on that video. No response so
Of course now, they don't talk to anyone.
far. Kash Patel also warning that possible denaturalization and deportation proceedings could come from this. Kevin?
Connor Hansen for us in New York. Connor, thank you so much. Let's now bring in Corbin Trent. Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez's former comms director and former Bernie Sanders campaign strategist.
I want to hear what they're going to preach here. Bernie Sanders, this proclaimed socialist that he is, this guy looks like he's going to have some crazy ideas. Something about bringing democracy to Somalia. But you go on X here and you see all these posts. The Somalians want to make the Somalian community great. They don't care about America. They care about the Somali immigrant population, and that's it.
And Mark Bednar, Congressman Kevin McCarthy's former head of comms and former comms director for Sean Duffy. Great to have you both with us. I guess I should probably begin with you, Corbin. Listen, this is one of those situations where there's no easy answer except for the obvious answer. What happens now? And if you're the Democrats, not just in Minnesota, but all over the nation, how problematic might this get?
I mean, I think fraud is fraud, and if you commit fraud against the government or anybody, you go to jail. I think that's what happens next, hopefully, and it seems
But they shouldn't go to jail. These people, these foreign immigrants, quote unquote, that committed fraud should not go to jail because then they're just a further burden on the U.S. tax system. They should be deported from where they immigrated from. Absolutely. They should not be thrown in jail. If they committed fraud against the U.S. government while immigrating to the U.S., zero tolerance.
like that's what's going to be happening next. I don't think this is a Democrat or Republican problem, though. This is a widespread problem of fraud and abuse. And largely it's something that...
But they're all against Doge. No one liked Doge. Doge was all the Democrats, Doge is a terrible idea. But here we go. Now you have to pivot because you're caught. Fraud is a problem for both sides.
Exists in the private sector. You know, the government writes the checks, and then the private sector sort of uses the money in any way they feel comfortable doing, and taxpayers are left with a bill. You look at healthcare, for example. We spent $5.4 trillion last year alone on healthcare. I mean, try finding a YouTuber that can go out and find out how United Healthcare is wasting our money. It's not something that's going to be easy.
It's not United Healthcare. It's all the other ones, the ones that we saw there that are funded by Tim Walz and the government in Minnesota.
Easy. So I think, this is a case.
And in healthcare costs so much because of Obamacare.
Case of the system sort of functioning, the fourth estate, which is a YouTuber with a channel out there
He
finding
says YouTuber so condescending. Like this guy's got some high throne important person. Like buddy, a YouTuber gets way more influence than you.
some fraud and bringing it to light. I think that's great. But, this is something that's in the trillions of dollars. We're wasting money in every sector, whether it's housing, healthcare, education. And we got to get, it's got to be taken under control. I think fraud's fraud that needs to be found and dealt with.
I think fraud is actually the right answer. However, Mark, I think there is still a political angle here, and the reason I suggest that is because Tim Walz, the governor of the state of Minnesota, has a responsibility to safeguard the resources of his fellow Minnesotans, to say nothing of the
He has more responsibility than that. He has a responsibility to better them.
fact that the federal money was also involved in this circumstance, and it seems to be that they were also sort of sending money off to, I saw a bunch of donations for Act Blue. I mean, who knows if there is a bigger nexus here. Your thoughts?
Yeah, laugh it off, buddy. Laugh it off.
On that.
Yeah, Kevin, the indictment across an array of entities here. First of all, the media for not even remotely pretending to care.
The media not caring is insanity. No one but Fox News has covered this. CNN won't touch it because they know how bad it makes them look. They probably knew about it. They just wouldn't do anything.
About this being an issue.
Not a single post from any of the top news. I just looked again. I was looking at Asmongold's stream earlier. Not a single post from any of them.
Secondly, Governor Walz with his stewardship of the state. But thirdly, and I think most importantly, and
another reason why, because they are embarrassed that a single independent 23-year-old journalist can go and get this story, and they can't. Their fleet of high-paying journalists that are so entrenched in things can't even go out and uncover this blatant story, this blatant fraud against the American taxpayer.
The furthest extension into the future, this really is an indictment against Kamala Harris's political judgment. Vetting somebody for the vice presidency, that's a big job. You need to be really thorough. So did they actually vet?
Yeah, skipping the democratic process to appoint Kamala Harris and then selecting Tim Walz, they're the party of thoroughness and really crossing your T's, dotting your I's. They do a great job at that.
Tim Walz's stewardship of the state of Minnesota, what did they find? Or did they not care at all? Should she run for president again? She's going to have to explain to voters, donors.
She runs for president again. They're handing it to the Republicans.
The media about her judgment and why she's incapable of, choosing someone who's not overseeing something as horrible as what's going on right here, right now.
Corbin, I give you credit.
But I mean, this is something though where, from my understanding, Tim Walz tried to stop payments to a lot of these facilities.
How
and
you
then
spin that?
They were sued by the facilities. They went to court, and the court compelled them to pay them. I mean, we're making this into a political football, like we do every single thing that's happening. And the problem is that this is a system-wide problem. It doesn't matter if it's the Democrats, Republicans.
It's not a system-wide problem. It doesn't happen in Texas. It doesn't happen in Florida.
It's corporations, it's private entities that are coming out there that are taking money out of our pockets, taking money out of our grandkids' pockets, and then running off to the bank with it. This is not like a Somali immigrant problem. This is a problem with our system.
Well, I think you could certainly argue, given that this is primarily happening in one community in particular at a fairly large scale, that obviously bears investigating. But I think the broader question becomes, at what point does the buck stop with the governor of the state of Minnesota?
Should stop automatically.
And that's what I would ask you, Mark, and then Corbin, you can wrap us up.
Well, that's why, first of all, it's a great reminder why it was so important for President Trump and Vice President Vance to win, lest you have Tim Walz actually number 2.
Imagine if Tim Walz was the VP right now. Oh my God, with Kamala? Oh my God, what would it even look like right now? The border would be open. The immigration would be going vertical. This fraud would just, government spending would have went bananas. Government hiring would have went bananas. I don't even know what happened. I mean, they would have flooded the system. And a crazy thing is, Tim Walz posted in 2023, they make it legal in Minnesota for anyone there illegally to get a driver's license and vote. You show me the incentive, I'll show you the outcome.
in line for the presidency in office right now.
Yeah.
But this is why it's really important for Republicans to actually make the argument that they should be able to control and expand their majority. Speaker Johnson, leader Whip Emmer, and congressional investigators, they should do a press event outside of the Leering Center in Minnesota today, not only to nationalize the issue, but also make Democrats have to actually answer for what is going on here, make them answer for what they've been defending all along.
The Leering Center, a reference to the fact that the letter N was missing from the signage out in front of one of these daycare centers, which apparently didn't have any kids in the at the time of the video. Corbin, 15 seconds.
I will agree with the FBI director on this. This is the tip of the iceberg. Last year alone,
Nancy
Pelosi's stock portfolio went up by 54%. The market was, I think, 25%, so she outperformed by double. This year, in a few months, the president of the United States has more than doubled his net worth. There is absolutely corruption that goes down to the core of our government, that goes down to the core of our private industries, and
he's not wrong about that.
But what we need
he's not wrong about that. Trump is actively legislating crypto while his family's heavily involved in it. But that doesn't mean that it's fraud. The president is allowed to do that. What is fraud is Nancy Pelosi signing bills and legislating while taking leveraged long option positions on those companies.
Representatives in our government, in our state governments, in our federal government that are willing to do the hard work to piss the people off to get it done.
Right.
And so far, that's what we're lacking.
Somebody's going to have to pay for this, and I don't mean just financially. Somebody has to be prosecuted and arrested.
If no one goes to prison for this, it is laughable. Because I guarantee you the Trump administration will come after them with everything they have. But I also guarantee you that the government in Minnesota will fight them tooth and nail to let anything happen to anyone. It'll continue on because the government is so slow. I bet you they're still getting funded. All those daycares are still getting paychecks every 2 weeks. I bet you they'll have it for another 6 weeks. Taxpayer money, your money, my money, going to them. And then where's that money going?
And sent off to jail if you've been stealing billions of dollars from the American taxpayer, and it's have to be prosecuted
instead of private.
Yeah, I don't know that either. Corbin and Mark, thank you both for your time today. I appreciate that.
Here we go. So after the backlash, lost audio. After the backlash, there we go. So the FBI director, after 120 million views, FBI director, case update in Minnesota. The FBI is aware of social media reports in Minnesota. However, even before the public conversation escalated online, the FBI has surged personnel and investigative resources to Minnesota to try to exploit the fraud ring. I mean, so obviously it was somewhat on their radar. Like, I don't even know how much the federal can do about this. How much can the FBI do about this? This is up to local delegates to understand where their money is going. I mean, come on. The case led to 74 indictments and has 57 convictions. Defendants include, oh my God, I'm not even going to try that. Abdiwabi Ahmad Mohammed, Ahmed Ali, Hussein Farad, Abdul Nur Gioso, Asha Fahan Hassan, and blah, blah, blah. I don't want to continue that. Wire fraud, money laundering, and conspiracy. The criminals didn't just engage in fraudulent activity and tried to assert justice. Charged with cash. I mean, it's obviously, this is the tip of the iceberg for this, guys. If they already arrested these people and they went, now Nick went there, I don't know when he filmed the video, a couple weeks ago, and saw all these people who are getting money, $2 million this one, $3 million that one, just countless flow of money. Let's look at this. So, this is a breaking story. One of the Sweet Angel Childcare, allegedly, and I tried calling live on stream yesterday, some of these. Apparently, it goes directly to Tim Walz's office, the number listed. Let's hear it.
Absolutely mind-blowing. So I was watching the most recent video by Nick Shirley exposing these daycare centers. Now, they're going daycare to daycare, and the next one that they go to is called Sweet Angel Childcare. This is where they show up to. And this is the business right here. Sweet Angel Childcare. And Minneapolis, Minnesota. Now, listen to where this phone number goes to when you call this child care center.
Let's see it. This is going to go to Tim Walz. 6501 area code.
Just wait for it.
Thank you for contacting the office of Governor Tim Walz.
Is that real? I'm going to try it. They surely have it taken down right now, right? They surely have it taken down. Let's try it, guys. What do you think? What do we think? Is it going to go to Walz? I don't think so. I think they surely have this taken down. This has to be a PR nightmare. And everyone just tries to spin and deflect. Oh, no, the Republicans wouldn't allow us to shut this down. It doesn't happen in Republican-run states. And it's all because of vote. Oh, my God. See that? Governor Tim Walz. That's insane. That is insane, guys. Is that actually... Wait, we're going to see this. We're going to see this. It is.
Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Sweet Angel Childcare, Minnesota. It literally... Oh, my God. It goes to his office, guys. That is insane. Let's keep watching.
The office of Governor at 130 State Capitol at 75 Reverend.
So a daycare that has been receiving money with no children, the number listed, and you have to have a phone number to legally register a business. So they use Tim Walz's phone number. Why would they choose that one?
Oh my God. I'll do it again. Sweet Angel Childcare. It goes to Governor Tim Walz's office. Why is a child care center directly going to the office of the governor?
Why? Because it's fraudulent and he is probably in on it. They're probably in on it. So here's the biggest problem that they have right now, or that we have as a society. They import these people, and it's a staggering amount that get imported. They give them money. That money is paying for them, and there's probably some side deal. That money gets funneled back into bringing more people and funding the Democratic campaigns. It's a cycle, a vicious cycle that is designed to dismantle freedom in America. And the reason why this is allowed to happen is because people don't pay enough attention. And I hope by me getting loud here and trying to preach how insane that these things that are going on is, if enough people get loud enough, it will stop. The middle is what matters for these. Once the middle realizes what they're doing and how insane it is, and how the right is not actually the crazy ones, but the ones on the left are the absolute, especially the ones far out there. I mean, most of them are normal people. They're friendly. They're great people. They just might not be as educated and say, "Oh, I just want the best for everyone." That's the common speaking ground that we've gotten into now. But once they realize how crazy what they're doing is, and how they're going to destroy everything, they'll switch back. They'll say those people are insane, not the way the media does it right now. And this Nick Shirley article just proves how the mainstream media has fallen from grace. I mean, they're trying to sell CNN right now. They can't sell it. There's no bidders. No one wants it. Netflix made an offer for their streaming service and said, we don't want that junk CNN. We don't want the cable. We don't want them. Just scrap it. They're done.
It makes sense. Hold on.
Thank you for contacting the office of Governor Tim Walz and Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan.
If this is not a direct link to Tim Walz
it is.
and these fraudulent child care centers, I don't know what else is.
They have incentives. You show me the incentive, I'll show you the outcome. Absolutely.
This is crazy. I'm just in shock right now. I am too, man. I was recording a YouTube video and reacting to this video. And I was like, let me call and look up their Google reviews. I was just looking up their Google reviews. And I was like, let me call this number. And I call it and it goes to...
right to Tim Walz's office. Insane. All right, let's look here. So, I saw this tweet as well. This is the only coverage we're getting from MSNBC. Let's watch this video. I mean, it's insane how they're trying to spin this. This is the only video that was posted about this. Look at this.
Sure. So these were funds that were meant to go to help feed hungry people during the COVID pandemic, to help keep people in their homes who were at risk of homelessness. So first of all, if there is fraud there.
If there is fraud there. If there is fraud there. Did you watch the video, woman? Did you watch the video? How can you be so ignorant and just outright denial that there's fraud there? There is so clearly fraud.
That should be fully investigated,
Yeah,
no matter where
it
it is, whether it's in a Democratic-led state, a Republican-led state. I mean, let's pull back. So absolutely, it should be investigated. The question is, you know, why is this a priority in a different kind of way? The politicization
Why is this a priority?
of the DOJ and the FBI.
They're saying that the Trump administration is politicizing law enforcement now. They literally debanked people for nothing. Being associated with MAGA, you're debanked. They used lawfare to go after Trump for that insanity charge he got for the real estate deal. They used lawfare to the best of their abilities, overregulated. Consent orders for Silvergate Bank. Those banks just went down because of it.
FBI is undeniable. So whether they are reliable narrators is the big question. And this is what happens when you weaponize and politicize federal agencies that are not meant to be, politicized. And I think the American people are right to ask the question, well, can we trust you? And that's a sad thing to say.
Yeah, can we trust you, Governor Walz?
An American. Let's recall, too, that there's also other scandals in other states. For
deflecting.
example, the Mississippi welfare scandal. I mean, this is not unique to politics. Americans know that.
How deep in social compliance is she? She is just filled with it. Oh, I need to be so righteous. I'm the right one.
But of course, the other factor here is that because it looks like the Somali population in Minnesota, the Somali immigrant population may have been involved in some way.
Might have been some involvement in some way.
Those people are being scapegoated, and that community is being scapegoated.
If you do the crime, you do the time.
In a way that certainly serves the far right.
The far right. There it is again. I mean, these people, it's just coming on. Like, how does this serve the far right? How does fraud of taxpayer dollars fund the far right?
I want to be clear that the Legislative Audit Report gave us a clear path. It told us that we could do better, and just like Minlar's, I now own that, and I own the fix for that. But I do want to be clear, before we take some other questions on this, that what needs to stop is a demonization of one community involved in this. What needs to stop is an absolutely unproven storyline that continues to resurface.
Unproven storyline. There's him trying to put it to bed there again. Like, I mean, we need to do better, but what needs to stop is demonizing the community involved in this. If they are committing fraud, they are criminals. They are criminals. There's no demonizing them. People who commit crime, and the Somalian population, I'm sure there's some great people in the Somalian population. The people that are committing crime and doing illegal things need to be held accountable.
On the House floor that this money went to terrorists, and it's targeted at one group of our.
Well, did it? If money goes to terrorists, you need to target
our citizens
extremely hard. They lose all rights.
Of Minnesotans.
If you are funding terrorist organizations, you should be targeted. Absolutely, anyone associated should be targeted to the fullest extent of the government will.
We'll own that this thing needs to be fixed. We'll own that there were problems in this. We will own that there are fixes, and we think we proposed the right amount, but we're open to that to try and close this. But again, I am not going to allow folks to use this as a hammer against a group of people. I want to be clear.
Insane. I mean, yeah, really though. Like, this guy ran for vice president, guys. We were close to having Kamala Harris and this guy in charge of the country, in charge of the economic policy, the foreign immigration policy. I mean, imagine how bad that could have been. I mean, insane. Like, look at this stuff. Have you seen this stuff? Like, tell me that that's not fraud. Tell me there's no fraud there. I mean, $30 million. She makes $174 a year. $174,000 a year. What's the math on that? 30 million? We're talking hundreds of years to make that. How does she get that money? Same thing with Nancy Pelosi. Same thing with all of them. I mean, they just take money. They don't have any. It's the difference between the Republicans in charge now and the Democrats. The Republicans in charge now are all business people who know how to operate large scale organizations. They know about efficiencies. They know about allocation to capital. These people have no idea. They say, we need more money so we can fund healthcare. But then they lose half of the money they take in, probably more, to fraud. You don't have a revenue problem, you have a spending problem. Not even a spending problem, you have a fraud problem. And they don't even want to recognize it. They say, oh, we don't want to take money from them. It is impossible for the Democrats to cut anything. They cannot. That's their whole platform. We want more money so we can give more money to people. I mean, this stuff just enrages me, guys. Look, this is the one I was looking for.
After the governor's
So this is insane.
signature made driver's license for all the law of the land.
So Tim Walz signs in a law to let illegals get driver's license in
A packed
2013.
room at the St.
and it's
Paul
now
Armory
possible for
erupted
them to
after
vote.
the governor's signature made driver's license for all the law of the land.
So we give driver's licenses to anyone here. You don't have to be a citizen. You don't have to.
So an illegal comes in. They know that that person is there illegally. And by definition, a criminal. They give them driver's license and the right to vote. Do you guys remember the days, and I always found this hilarious, the days where you needed to identify yourself with a Vax Pass to go into anywhere? You needed your vaccine ID to say, oh, you're only allowed in here if you got vaccinated. But you don't need one to vote. That's all right.
Which is a photo ID.
You don't. You need a Vax Pass to get into any building, anywhere. But to vote in a federal election, arguably the most important thing for our democracy, no, that's all right.
So if someone comes in, they register, they have the driver's license, but they have an incorrect social or no social or whatever. So then they become incomplete. But if they walk in to vote with their driver's license.
Who do you think that those illegals are going to vote for? The ones that are giving them millions of dollars to not have any kids in their daycare? That's my guess. Why stop the gravy train?
Does that make them all of a sudden now okay?
Mr. Linnell.
Madam Chair, so the designation on the roster for someone whose registration had been incomplete, if they present the election judge with that acceptable identification document, that would clear the challenge from the roster and they would be permitted to cast a ballot.
Mr. Anderson.
Well, okay, there's your problem potentially. So thank you.
So just to clarify,
Potentially.
someone who is not a citizen but presents a driver's license at that point in the process could be permitted to vote.
Madam Chair, at the time of registration, as well as at the time of submitting a ballot, every voter is signing the attestation affirming their eligibility to vote, including.
There's no tracking of this. There's no one holding anyone accountable for that. They are all going out and voting for Democrats. And it's insane that they're letting this happen. They're importing people who are going to vote for them and just saying, no, we'll keep all of them. That's why the ICE riots are happening. We don't want any of these votes gone. We need every vote possible. It's getting too late. We're getting to a tipping point. When the masses start realizing what's happened, and that's what happened with the border. The border was a topic that people were just in denial about. And it just shows how much lies and just deceit that the left produces. They were saying for years, the border is not a problem. All those videos of people crossing, they're fake. They're not real. The same thing with this. This is going to, every conspiracy theory by the quote unquote far right eventually comes true. All right, we're going to move on here. This is an insane story. I mean, is there anything else here breaking? What's this? Okay. Washington State, 539 of about 5,000 licensed daycare are Somali run. That ratio, that's 10%. 10% of the licensed care centers are Somali run. How is that possible? That is insanity. How can they allow that to happen? That is clearly fraud. Someone get down here and look at these. I mean, let's just pause here on one. So what's this one? Eagle Family Center. Language is spoken English Somalia. I mean, Arbor Gmail address. Italian Somalian. In Washington? And where in Washington? What's up in the chat, guys? If you guys are here watching, shoot me a message in chat. Love to talk to y'all. But like, this is crazy, guys. Like another, like, so 539 of the 5,000 licensed daycares are Somali run. What's the population of Somalia, of Somalians in the US? It has to be like 1%, like max. That's crazy. That's too good. That's too good. That's too good. That's way too good. This guy's doing God's work, by the way. Okay. Let's move on. We're going to watch the President Trump Zelensky conference that happened yesterday. So, where we got? Oh, here we are. Okay. So, the war in Ukraine obviously rages on. It's so sad. I can't imagine having to go fight in a war right now. That doesn't mean anything. I saw some videos of people fighting in this war, and it's just insane that to risk your life and to be in that moment because politicians, Zelensky, can't agree. It is insane that these people have these poor Ukrainians have to go through. I saw a post where one of the killed soldiers was Googling every day Trump or Putin Zelensky conversations. It's just such a people my age are getting killed, losing your life, your most valuable asset, because you had to fight for some other government. It's insane.
Well, thank you very much. We had
We have audio. Sorry, guys.
terrific meeting.
I have audio.
Well, thank you very much. We had a terrific meeting. We discussed a lot of things. As you know, I had an excellent phone call with President Putin that lasted for over 2 hours.
Wow.
We
2
discussed
hours?
a
What do they
lot of
talk about?
points,
You don't even speak the same language.
And I do think we're getting a lot closer, maybe very close. The President and I just spoke to the European leaders. They were President Emmanuel Macron of France, President Alexander Stubb of the Republic of Finland, President Karol Nawrocki of the Republic of Poland, Prime Minister Jonas Gahr Store of the Kingdom of Norway, Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni of the Italian Republic, Prime Minister Keir Starmer of the United Kingdom of Britain and Northern Ireland, Chancellor Friedrich Merz, the Federal Republic of Germany, Secretary General Mark Rutte, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, President Ursula von der Leyen of the European Commission. We spoke to all of those great leaders. They're all great leaders. And
He's so good at
we had a
this.
great talk with them
Circling
after
back
we were
on everything.
completed.
So
we thought it
funny.
was appropriate to speak with them. And our meeting was excellent. We covered, somebody would say 95%. I don't know what percent, but we have made a lot of progress
Okay.
on ending that
It's good to hear.
war,
I mean,
which
I
is
hate
really
the war. It's
certainly the
insane that
most
people go
deadly
to
war
and
since
fight.
World War II.
That was a big
Probably
one.
the biggest war since World War II.
Insane.
And I want to thank Steve Witkoff, who's here.
100,000 people, or
I'd like
million
to thank
people dead.
Jared, who's here someplace. Thank you, Jared. And thank you, Steve. What a great job you've done. Jared Kushner, Steve Witkoff, and Marco Rubio is here. Thank you, Marco. And
My choice
Pete
for
Hegseth is here.
2028.
Those two people are doing
that
an
controversial?
unbelievable job. And the four people on this one are doing, I don't think anybody could do it. And we'll see if it gets done, but it's very close, certainly. Nobody would even have a chance of getting it to where it is right now. Nobody would have thought that was possible. So I just want to say we've done very well. We've had discussions on just about every subject, and that includes with President Putin before. And we went into great detail, and we likewise went into great detail today.
Ukraine's going to have to give up territory. I mean, it just has happened. You have to end the war. That's what they want. It's going to have to happen. Russia has made progress. It's sad. You just got to, I mean, I don't know why the Ukrainian people are still supporting this war.
Today, and it was an honor to have you at Mar-a-Lago and have lunch. I hope you enjoyed the food. Your people enjoyed the food. I can tell you that. You're big, strong people. General over there looks like central casting.
Oh my God, he's so.
I want to also, by the way, speaking of general,
love him or hate him, he's so refreshing than most politicians.
We have a great general, General Raisin Kane, who is here someplace. Thank you, General. Thank you very much. He's great. So, Mr. President, maybe you want to say a few words, and then we'll speak over the next couple of weeks. We'll speak probably quite a bit, but we'll speak tomorrow. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything. Dear colleagues, first of all, I would like to thank President Trump for a great meeting.
Kiss the ring, buddy. Kiss the ring.
In his home in Mar-a-Lago. And we had a really great discussions on all the topics, and we appreciate the progress that was made by American and Ukrainian teams in these recent weeks. Special thanks to Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner, and thank you to for their engagement and full commitment, and also to our team, and first of all to Rustem Umerov and General Gnatov, and to all our teams. And we discussed all the aspects of the peace framework, which includes, and we have great achievements, 20-point peace plan, 90% agreed, and U.S.-Ukraine security guarantees, 100% agreed. U.S.-Europe-Ukraine security guarantees, almost agreed. Military dimension, 100% agreed. Prosperity plan being finalized, and we also discussed the sequencing of the following actions. And we agree that security guarantees is a key milestone in achieving lasting peace, and our teams will continue working on all aspects. We also had a joint productive call with European leaders, like President Trump said already, and a lot of leaders, including NATO and EU. And we agreed that our teams will meet in upcoming weeks to finalize all discussed matters. And we agreed with President Trump that he will host us, and maybe in Washington, European leaders and Ukrainian delegation, yes, in January. And Ukraine is ready for peace. And once
they're not, they're continuing the war. Putin has said that they want to end it, but there's obviously political reasons for continuing it.
Once again, would like to thank President Trump for a warm welcome and substantial discussion. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. President.
Any questions, please?
And don't get me wrong, I absolutely support Ukraine in this war. They were the friendly neighbor who got invaded by Russia. The U.S. had very much a part in pushing them into NATO and by contracting them into NATO. But this has gone off long enough. You just need to make an agreement. Ukraine will never join NATO. Maybe Russia gets some territory they've taken, and just put an end to it. It needs to stop.
The U.S.-Ukraine security guarantees. What number are we at right now?
Well, I think you can say 95%, but I don't like to say percentages. I just think we're doing very well. We could be very close. There are one or two very thorny issues, very tough issues, but I think we're doing very well. We made a lot of progress today, but really we've made it over the last month. This is not a one-day process deal. This is very complicated stuff, but I think when the president says 95, I think, could be close to 95%. Yeah, please, behind you.
Mr. President, could you agree on the so-called free trade zone on Donbass? How to separate the sites? How to make the separation line? Who will be responsible?
The word agreed is too strong. I would say not agreed, but we're getting closer to an agreement on that.
That's good.
And that's a big issue, certainly. That's one of the big issues. And I think we're closer than we were.
I wonder what that line is. How much territory is Ukraine going to have to give up?
But it's getting a lot closer. That's a very tough issue, but one that I think will get resolved. Yeah, please.
Good. I mean, I hope Trump is putting pressure on him to end the war. I just hate seeing innocent people dying because political agendas.
We are receiving some
mixed signals coming from Moscow, even after disruption. Can you assure us that you have received written or any formal response from them?
Well, what was the issue? You have to tell me. What did they say?
They are telling that Ukraine has to give up Donbass. Just very recent statement.
Well, that's what they've been asking for, and there's a dispute about that. So they're going to have to iron that out. That's an issue they have to iron out. But I think it's moving in the right direction. If something doesn't happen, you mean if something doesn't happen? Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead. You were going to finish your question. Well,
No,
we'll see.
no, not you.
We'll see. But I don't want to talk about that because I think we're getting pretty close. Yes, please. Please.
Yes, about territorial question, Mr. President. What is your take on Donbass status? Are you prepared to see it as a free economic or demilitarized zone?
No, we spoke about 20 points planned, and
The question was how the economic of Ukraine and the territorial will advance.
I'm happy that really our team's very close to results, and I agree with President Trump that our team.
You were close to results forever ago. This should have been ended months ago, and just countless people from the Ukraine side has died because of this.
Work not one day, not one week, more than 1 month, beginning from Geneva, then 2 meetings in Miami, then we had Berlin, and now we have Mar-a-Lago. So this is a very difficult question. You know our position, so it's this we have to respect our law and our people, and we respect the territory which we control. And of course, there's
a lot of people in that territory who probably want to be part of Russia. I get you want to fight for it, but just is it worth your men that you're just losing every day?
Attitude is very clear. That's why President Trump said this is a very tough question. And of course, we have with Russians different positions on it.
And have you discussed referendum about...
No, when we speak about referendum, we spoke that it's one of the key. We can have referendum on any kind of points of this plan. I said that we can use referendum like for the plan, or we cannot use referendum. It's one of the key. We can use, this possibility of parliament to vote according to the law or to have referendum. Doesn't matter. This referendum, if the plan will be very difficult for our society, very difficult, of course, our society
I think people
has
dying
to
is
choose,
difficult for society.
has to vote because it's their land, the land not of one person, it's the land of our nation for a lot of generations.
They'll probably have to get their
Soviet
plan
Union.
approved by Parliament or by referendum of the people. You would think that they want, I know they had a poll that it's 91% in favor of ending this war, so they want to end it like everybody wants. Russia wants it ended, everybody wants it ended, and we want it ended. I want it ended because I don't want to see so many people dying. We're
True.
losing massive numbers of people. The
Despite
biggest
the
by
political,
far
you
since
just want
World
it
War
ended.
II.
It just should be over.
So we want to see it ended, absolutely.
President
Yes.
Trump, you said at the top that you plan to speak again tomorrow. Is that correct?
I might. It depends on what happens tomorrow. If there's an additional something to
No politician in the history of politicians ever do that response.
add, otherwise there's no reason to. We're in the process. Jared and Steve are working very hard to get something done, and if there's something that comes up, I'd speak, but otherwise I don't think there's any reason to.
In your mind, sir, what are the thorniest issues still unresolved after the death?
Well, I think the land you're talking about, some of that land has been taken. Some of that land is maybe up for grabs, but it may be taken over the next period of a number of months.
They are losing the ground
You're better
war.
off making a deal now. Look, let me tell you, they have been very brave. They fought very hard and continue to fight very hard and do tremendous damage. But Russia would like to see it end, and Ukraine would like to see it. And I think it's time to end.
I think it's time as well. I think a deal gets done. I think a deal gets done here within all signs are pointing there. It's been a stalemate for a while. They're still fighting tooth and nail the front line, but I think this visit by Zelensky again, since the last one happened in the White House, an unforgettable moment. I think this shows that he's kind of they got to end this. It needs to be over. They lost too many soldiers. They're not going to, what's the best outcome for Ukraine to keep fighting this war? There is none. They get a couple of kilometers of pretty devastated land back. I think it's time.
A lot of people that are dead right now, unfortunately, because I've said, and nobody's disputed it, that if the election weren't rigged and stolen, 2020, you wouldn't have had this war. It would have never happened. And it didn't happen for 4 years. Never was even thought to happen.
He might have a point. He might have a point.
And I spoke with President Putin. I got along with him very well, despite the Russia hoax, which was a total hoax. He used to say, "What is going on over there?" But it was a total hoax.
It has been proven to be a hoax, too, by the way. Another one of those media round hit campaigns that turned out to be a total hoax. And now we get the opposite, where that Somali fraud thing is happening, and the media won't touch it. They're going to put to bed, oh, it's both sides. It's always happened. It's not a big deal.
Knew, and as I knew. But I spoke to him, and we'd talk about Ukraine. I've said it before. It was the apple of his eye, but he wasn't going to do anything about it. He didn't do anything about it until I was gone, and then a lot of really bad statements were made by people, by a lot of people, I guess, but by a certain president that we had who was a disaster. Yes.
Every time he gets a chance, sucker.
Anticipate going to Ukraine if you can get to an agreement? And
I'd have no problem with doing it. You know, I have no problem with doing it. Don't anticipate it. Would like to get the deal done and not necessarily have to go. I've offered to go and speak to their parliament, and you know, if that would help. I don't know if that would help. I think it would probably help, but I don't even know if that's.
You're welcome.
Yeah, no.
It would help. I think getting Trump up there, every Ukrainian would see that. Every Ukrainian would see exactly what he says. If he goes to Ukraine and speaks in parliament and says this needs to end, it would overwhelmingly get it to end by the Ukrainian people.
No, I know.
It would also be shown in Russia 100% as well.
I'm not sure that it would be really necessary, but if it would help save 25,000 lives a month or whatever it may be, I would certainly be willing to do that. Yeah, please. No, behind you. Where are you from?
From Ukraine.
Good, I had a feeling. Good.
How about Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant? Have you started this?
On what?
Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant.
Yeah, we discussed that at length today. As you know, it's in pretty good shape. It can start up immediately, almost immediately. And it's one of the things I discussed with President Putin. And they were talking about the nuclear plant. That's probably the biggest in the world, just about the biggest anywhere in the world. Can you?
Is that Chernobyl? That's like another Chernobyl waiting to happen. I mean, if things really escalate, that's a prime target.
You believe that? And
the devastation from that fallout would be insanity. I mean, it would just be heartbreaking.
President Putin's actually working with Ukraine on getting it open. He's been very good in that sense. He wants to see that open, and he hasn't hit it with missiles, hasn't hit it with anything. It's a big danger to do that for everybody, but they're working together to try and get it. It can open very quickly. It's in pretty good shape. And the people there have been there for years. The people there running it. You know, they have 5,000 people in that plant. Can you believe it? I learned that today. 5,000 people. It's the biggest plant of its kind in the world. And they're working together to get it open. They could maybe get it open quickly.
That's a big. We're going to move here now. So, seems like there's a whole lot of nothing happening there, to be honest. So, I want to talk about this. This is, hopefully you guys know, Hassan is a very much a political commentary, kind of what I'm trying to be. Well, no, I'm trying to be Asmongold, a political commentator who actually knows what's happening in the world and has some factual competence, unlike Hassan. Hassan there is posts made. So he was reacting to this post here, the Nick Shirley fraud in Minnesota. And all he can say is you shouldn't be going into places with camera. You shouldn't be going into these people, going to their doors, asking questions. Just blatantly defending the fraudsters. What about the people who are committing fraud against U.S. taxpayers? No comment on that at all. Anyway, there's big beef here. We're going to react to this video.
Now he wants me banned?
He is hallucinating potential fraud taking place.
Hallucinating.
Like, hallucinating. Did you watch the video?
Didn't you watch the video?
Thank you.
What do you mean hallucinating? This is the reason why he's losing followers. This is the reason why people have turned on him. It's because you are so committed to the lie that you make people ignore what's directly in front of them.
Fraud isn't even real.
So wait, did he watch this video and then watch me watching the video?
And I'm
Oh
watching
my
you
God.
watching him watch the video.
Dude, this is, I'm sorry. If he doesn't get if he doesn't get a stern talking to in the after.
What's he gonna get a stern talking to from? Like, I don't understand. Why is Asmongold here gonna get? I mean, this is crazy setup we have going right now, guys. But I watched this video earlier and I thought I need to bring this here. It's so entertaining. It just shows how blatantly oblivious these people are to what's going on. They just find any little thing to pick at and say, no, that's not important.
They're mad at this statement. Twitch is unironically fucking biased, but it's not biased in the way that you would think. It's not biased in my favor.
Yes,
okay?
it is. Right, of course. So now I need to get in trouble because I said that people should live with the consequences of their own voting.
You have a lot more haters than you have fans? No, you're fucking delusional if you think that's the case.
He has a lot of haters now. A lot of haters.
Yeah, I mean, look at the followers.
He also
he gained 5,000 followers the other day.
View bots.
I mean, you don't gain 5,000 followers in one stream if you don't have a lot of fans. I mean, how else could that happen?
It's just that my haters are a lot louder on the internet. I have a lot more fans than I have haters.
Yeah.
100%.
That's great.
It's just that the haters are very online and very loud on the internet.
So guys, let me move my face.
I just find it to be funny that after all of the accusations that he levied at me for viewbotting over the last year, some of which were true, after all of these accusations and everything, that what is this here? What is this video? I don't even know what this. Let me see if I can pull this up. That now it's so undeniably him viewbotting. It is. It's so undeniable.
He is viewbotting
or follow botting. Not him, but
they can follow along. You just really can't stop thinking about him, huh? Rent free and everything. Sad, very sad to see you come to this. Yeah, Asmongold has talked more times about me on his broadcast every single fucking day.
Are you fucking kidding me? Guys, let's roll the tapes. This is only for the last 2 weeks.
This is hilarious.
No.
Play it. Look at this. It's so funny.
Here we go.
He just plays into it's
Asmongold. Don't click away now, Asmongold. Yeah, this is Asmongold. Asmongold. Why you like Asmongold? I would love to see an Asmongold. Asmon said earlier Asmongold. Tuning in to Asmongold. This includes Asmongold. Shouts out to Asmongold. I will be checking in with the Asmongold chat as always.
Yes.
Is Asmongold?
That's right. You remember whenever he watched the Game Awards and he spent more time looking at my chat than the trailers?
Whoa, Asmongold from Asmongold. You're gonna piss off Asmongold.
This guy is the definition of what we're fighting. It's
Asmongold. How the fuck is Asmongold like Asmongold? Same as Asmongold. This is all Asmongold. How hard Asmongold? The largest is Asmongold. The likes of Asmongold, dude. Me and Asmongold.
Bro!
Keeps going.
Asmongold. Defending Asmongold. Fucking Asmongold. For someone like Asmongold. Or whether it be Asmongold. Asmongold by Asmongold.
Oh my God!
Think about Asmongold. This is an Israeli Asmongold. Care about Asmongold.
I hope to be in that someday. Free Market Network. We will be. You guys are early.
Give Asmongold's audience a fantastic opportunity to sit around and jerk off about how fucking dumb we are on the left. Because we are.
Yeah, you are.
If you look at Asmongold's YouTube channel versus my YouTube channel, what I choose to actually cut.
Bro, holy shit. Every time he talks, there's 2 seconds of silence.
If you guys have followed this at all, it's too good. This guy,
as the political commentary person on this platform now, botted or not botted, how much he talks about me.
Oh, wait, what is this again?
Bro, holy shit. Every time he talks, there's 2 seconds of silence every 2 words.
As the political commentary person on this platform now, botted or not botted.
Botted or not botted.
I wonder, which one? Botted or not botted? What is this? Okay. Look at the followers, guys. That's clearly botted. It doesn't happen.
How about that?
It's not this.
How much he talks about me, there is a major disparity.
Oh my God, botted or not botted, everything else. And I get it. You're down bad. Things aren't going very well. You know what your analytics are. You know you've been losing followers like crazy ever since the dog thing, right? It's been massive.
Every one of his fans goes, oh, he obviously...
The dog thing is crazy. I mean...
doesn't care about anything. He doesn't care about money.
Yeah.
He still lives in this, like... Man. Asmongold going after one...
And Asmongold, I mean... hate him or love him, he takes the side of common sense. And that's what I love about him. Hassan is just, it's just so obviously blatant. I don't even think he believes half the stuff he says. I think he just plays into that narrative just for his own personal gain.
One another.
And that's not what Asmongold's about. And not me either. I'm all about truth and transparency and trying to bring actual content. And that this thing is just so funny. And how far lengths they go to for this.
Only benefits him. It doesn't benefit me at all. What kind of fucking benefit does that have for the adults that are coming here for political commentary? They don't give a shit about Asmongold. That's why the community fucking lights on fire. Whenever I talk about Asmongold, they're like, who cares? Stop talking about
I bet.
Asmongold. You're going to piss off Asmongold. Asmongold.
He doesn't like talking about it. No, he doesn't like
How the
talking about
fuck is Asmongold like Asmongold? Asmongold. Same as Asmongold. This is all Asmongold. How hard Asmongold? The largest is Asmongold. The likes of Asmongold. Dude, me and Asmongold. With Asmongold. Asmongold. For an Asmongold. Asmongold. Defending Asmongold. Fucking Asmongold.
Amazing.
For someone like Asmongold.
Wow.
Or whether it be Asmongold. Asmongold. And Asmongold. Asmongold by Asmongold.
This
Asmongold.
montage
Think about
is too
Asmongold.
funny. It's
my
too much.
God. I don't even know what to think. I don't even know what to say. This is in the last 2 weeks. How often do you say Hassan? Probably regularly. I'm sure I've said it a long times. Yeah, I mean, I comment on clips, but I know here's the difference: is that I'm not above any of this. Okay, like whenever I see drama,
It's true. He doesn't act like he's some big shot. Hassan is the biggest big shot you'll ever meet. He's the most righteous, self-centered. Like, it's him. He is the guy.
just talk about it. That's it. I'm not above this. I'm not beyond this. I'm not better than this.
And it benefits both of them. This beefs like this benefits streamers so much because it's so entertaining to watch. Like, look at me right now watching this. And like, I get it. They have the feud or whatever. But Hassan, I mean, he just thinks that he doesn't even need it. It's just...
Yes. No. It's fine. So I don't ever go and do that at all. There's no reason to do that. Why would I do this? So yes, and it's just you probably say his name more. I probably do. Maybe I don't know. How many followers do you think you've gained from Hassan? I don't know. A lot. And but anyway, so yeah, I guess that's pretty much what benefit does it have for me? I mean, I do think that it's true. His 2-hour Christmas crash out was no, what is the 2 hour? Are you telling me on Christmas? On Christmas. He had a 2-hour segment on you for Christmas? Merry Christmas.
Guys, this is a 2 to 3 hours crash out on Christmas. Deep breaths. Let's go!
Asmon has a day off, so I watched this. Habibi-san talk shit. Asmongold. 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 Asmon is incredibly consistent on his views, saying the same shit Asmongold is saying. Asmongold. 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 I've had Asmongold on.
Nigga.
Asmongold. I, unlike Asmongold, actively tell my chat never to go after people.
I don't know why you'd say this. Is he saying that Dr. K is lying?
With the creators that I've worked with, there are a handful of communities that they're really scared of. And Hassan's is one of them. And I think it has something to do with his rigidity and the tribalism of his community.
They're tribal.
Incredibly consistent on his views. They just don't fit in a neat box. There's more nuance to it. He's
blinded.
Bro, I like you, but your chat, they go after people like rabid dogs. Yeah. You don't even have a fucking real...
Man, that is insane.
They do.
2 hours on Christmas.
I'm sorry.
You can envision what his chat is consisted of. It's just attacking for everyone. And the people who are the loudest right now are all those people. The leftism woke ideology that he preaches. So they just get loud and feel entitled to take anyone down.
If he doesn't get if he doesn't get a stern talking to in the aftermath of this statement, Twitch is unironically fucking biased, but it's not biased in the way that you would think. It's not biased in my favor.
Yes.
Okay.
Right, of course. So now I need to get in trouble because I said that people should live with the consequences of their own voting. Right, of course. And I think that the police officers, so this is my opinion again, the police officers that are enabling this fraud should be held accountable personally.
Yes, anyone who is enabling this fraud and it can be proven that was complicit in this Minnesota fraud should absolutely be held accountable with the fullest extent of the law.
And I think that the fundamental...
If that was white Americans who were uncovered in that fraud, they would be locked up immediately. Immediately.
Problem is the I'm just following orders becomes so displaced that nobody actually is held accountable for anything. And because nobody is held accountable for anything, the world just continuously gets worse and worse and worse because people know that they can do anything that they want. They can advocate for anything that they want to advocate for and do anything that's fraudulent, basically treasonous, problematic, or anything else. And they're going to get away with it because, oh, somebody just told me to do that. Nope, absolutely not. And so
that's literally what's wrong with politics. There's no accountability anywhere in the train. There's no way to tie it back to the governor, and there's going to be these actors that just said, oh, I was just following orders, and some obscure order came from someone to allow this in some obscure way, so then no one gets accountable. It's just a endless pit of money.
For first, bottom chat's crazy.
For.
Oh, what is this here? I'm so tired of Twitch not doing anything. Yeah, it's it's the Holocaust, right? Of course. Yes, exactly. And so this is it. To sort the narrative, it seems like Twitch is on your side. It's not about Twitch being on my side or not. It's about the fact that people like saying this is not crazy to say. This is the opinion of the majority of Americans. And I think that this is the reason why people like Hassan are upset. It's because what you think is extremism is actually not only is it not extreme, but this is the viewpoint that I think the majority of people have. I think the majority of Americans are fucking tired.
Yes.
We are sick and fucking tired of a weaponized Department of Justice that is used to insulate bad actors, fraud, treason, and other types of seditious, unlawful behavior that is totally fucking unacceptable. This is insane. And Hassan had no problem with me saying this exact same thing whenever I was talking about the people that covered up the Epstein files. Do you remember that? Because I said the same fucking thing. I said that the people that are covering up the Epstein files, you need to find out, no, not the person that told them, the person that did it. I don't care. Oh, they're a pencil pusher.
There's got to be a top of the pyramid. There's the top of the pyramid. Those Epstein files. So the Democrats sat on them for years. But no one wants to remember that anymore. It's all Trump. Trump's concealing them. There has to be some crazy things in there for this to be, with all the political pressure that's coming on these and them not to do anything about it, there has to be some crazy stuff in there. Like, I'm talking A-list celebrity sex tapes type stuff. Like, huge blackmail material. And I bet you, my conspiracy is Epstein was working with the CIA.
Oh, it's not fair. Good. Maybe that'll set a fucking example for what it's like whenever you go and you allow this rot to continue. That's it. And average Americans are tired of having their country rotted out, looted, pillaged by a bunch of random fucking third worlders and then asked to apologize for it because of something that happened before we were born. This is outrageous. I'm tired of it. Most people are tired.
The apologize for being white narrative is what got me so riled up. I am extremely tired of it as well. You go on any job application. Are you a minority, a African American, a woman, a disability, LGBTQ? I thought the whole point of not being racist is to ignore all those things. It doesn't matter. So why ask it? Why ask it? It's because you have DEI targets that incentivize you to hire them. The DEI is, by definition, racist.
Of it, and I'm also tired of pretending that I'm not tired of it. It's outrageous. Yes, absolutely. And there's another thing too, is that these insulated, generally white liberals that live in gated communities vote to bring in all of these people that cause violence, that commit crime, that do fraud, and that have all of these problems because they never have to see it. Their only interactions with illegal aliens are when they come.
I love those videos when people say, oh, should we bring illegals in? Should we allow them to stay here? Oh, well, I actually have one here who needs a home to stay. Can they stay with you? No. Absolutely not. No. That's over there. That's not me.
I'm in to clean their fucking house. And so, yeah, they think that they're great. But whenever you're the person whose job is being displaced because of this illegal alien, when you're the person who now has to pay a higher premium for your health care, you have to pay a higher premium for your insurance, for your home insurance or your car insurance, because these fucking parasites have come in from other countries. They're stealing our money, they're committing crimes, they're stealing identities, and they're raising everybody's fucking rate.
Parasites is right. Parasites. They're leeching off the American taxpayer. They're stealing money from Americans' pockets. And the Democrats, who are supposed to be leading the American, I'm so sick of it. They are supposed to be leading the country. What's best for Americans? Allow this to happen.
It's going to the emergency room. They can't even speak fucking English. And all of these people, if you call this out, somehow now you're the problem. No,
Yep.
I don't fucking think so. I think I'm tired of this. I think most people are tired of this. And I'm tired of these fucking losers, these pathetic, disgusting liberals voting for this and then sentencing other people to die.
That's what they do. They do.
If you want to pass the sentence, do it to yourself. That's what I think.
This music is
It's
tight.
disgusting.
It is. I agree with you.
I'm not sorry.
I'm not either.
I'm right. I'm sick of
We've
pretending
lost
that
our
I'm
way.
not.
The median will come back. The median will come back.
We are the majority.
Thank you.
They inverted your clip, cutting out you mentioning accelerationism, so it sounds like you're talking about Somalians and not the whole of Minnesota that voted for these policies. Is it being cut? What would you have the police do instead if you were them? What would be your course of action? Genuinely curious. I would create a situation where this is the problem. They can only exist inside of a web of lies. They can only exist inside of manipulation, tricks, emotional manipulation, and emotional blackmail. They have to cut clips, repost things in different ways, lie, everything like that. Isn't that guy being sued by Ethan? Not yet. The police would be afraid to defend these places because they would be worried about being persecuted. Absolutely. I think the same thing about the Epstein files. I think any of the people that were complicit in the cover-up for the Epstein files should be absolutely prosecuted and put up for being a accessory.
Right, that's the majority of this. We're going to end it there. I hope you like this episode. Please sub, follow for more. I'm going to try to do these daily. Not a lot of activity in the chat tonight. Had a wicked stream yesterday if you guys were around for it. Wicked stream. So going to try to do this. Awesome. You guys are first here. Love the community. Love to talk to you. Let's see it. All right. Later.